Are you staying stuck in your career despite not enjoying it anymore, but you feel like staying is the safer option? That's how I felt. I felt like that was the safest option because it felt too complicated to work out all the uncertainty that was associated with changing careers. The thing is, staying put also has a cost attached to it.
So there is a cost associated with not making a decision. And if you're truly honest with yourself, you may already be experiencing some of these. So I know some of you have said that you feel exhausted and fed up with not being able to decide. So when you're circling a question and you can't get to an answer, it is tiring, both mentally and physically. So physically, it's going to start showing up as tension in your body, but you also might start developing aches and pains as a result of that tension. You might also find it's affecting your immune system, and that's what happened to me. I just started getting ill, and I was constantly ill the whole time. It might also be affecting your relationship. So when you're annoyed, unhappy, discontented, the way you communicate with people and how you relate to them will change. You might not be aware of it, but it's happening. So you might be finding that you've got you've got a lower attention span. So you might be snapping at them. You might be really short with them. You might also find that actually you want to spend less time with them. So this is impacting your relationship, but it might not be obvious. And to you, but it might be obvious to them that there's something's changed and it's not for the better. When you can't decide, it's going to also affect your confidence and your self-belief because you don't believe in your ability to make that decision. Then there's also the wasted time. So what happens in that time where you're not deciding? So from my experiences, I wasn't growing as a person. I wasn't learning anything new. I was doing the same things and it was just becoming quite routine. I was quite bored with it. There was a period where I did start a new role where I was learning, and that's actually what propelled me to leave in the end. But prior to that, I wasn't learning anything, I wasn't growing. It was effectively wasted time. And then we've got these missed opportunities, and this is the bit that a lot of people miss because we don't consider them, because we don't know that they exist. So let's say you're trying to make a decision between whether you should stay or leave. If you decide to go through the door and leave, right now you don't know what's behind that door. So you open the door, you've left, suddenly you see there's 5 doors. They're those 5 opportunities that you didn't know existed, but you will never know them unless you walk through the door. And this was the same for me. So when I quit my job, I had a few options I wanted to explore. And I went down the field of training as a personal trainer, but that isn't where it ended. The opportunities that opened up to me were the things that I didn't know existed. So I didn't know that I could be didn't know that I could do the role that I do now. So I'm more of a movement coach and I help people rehabilitate and I help people learn to move better, get fitter and stronger. And I work with a lot of retirees who are entering the next phase of their life and I help them to future-proof their bodies. But this is not something that I would ever have considered when I was working in my original job. It's not something that I even knew existed. So these are the opportunities that you are missing by not making a decision.
The thing with fear and uncertainty is they don't just disappear. In order to start moving forward, you need to start taking action. So think of one small thing that you can start doing today. So it might be sending an email, finding a contact that you need to speak to, doing a bit of research online around the topic that you're interested in. Just anything that can start moving you forward, because once you do that, you'll start to see opportunities that you couldn't see before.